Well, folks, it's time for me to make another video exposing Myron Gaines.
Again!
Hey everyone, this is Tree from Just Tree 411 YouTube channel, and today I'm going to call out another hypocrisy done by Almaru Fidel, also known as Myron Gaines. As we all know, Myron hates himself, so it's natural for him to hate blacks, and even though he despises women in general, he detests black women the most. One of Myron's favorite verbal aggressions against black women is directed at our hair. He loves calling black women hair hat hooligans or weave warriors in order to shame black women for not wearing their natural hair. However, what if I told you that Myron doesn't wear his natural hair either, and he too is a weave warrior? The only difference is, while some black women have weave tracks sewn into their hair, Myron has his weave glued to the top of his head, so he's not in a position to talk about black women wearing fake hair when he's doing the same thing. In this video, I'll prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Myron never got a hair transplant and is in fact wearing glued-on weave. But first, let's take a look at how all of this got started. On October the 4th, while responding to Angie's tweet, Myron says, "Shout out to all the weave warriors, wig-wearing black women in this comment section that are mad. My girl would donate some of her hair to you, bald B-words." Tilted crying laughing emoji face. So I saw Myron's tweet and I quote tweeted it, and I used a video that I made about, I think it was earlier this year or last year, showing how Myron has also weave glued to the top of his head, and I was showing an example of the technique that was done, the actual procedure. If you would like to see this entire video, I will provide a link to it in the description box below. But I said in the quote tweet along with the video, "Say what? This is coming from the man who literally has weave glued to the top of his head." And then I at him on his other account. I shouldn't be the only black woman calling this hypocrisy out. Now, for some crazy reason, Icy responded to that tweet. And let me tell you something. I have come for Myron lots of times, and I have rarely seen Icy up in my replies. But for some crazy reason, when I'm talking about the glued on weave on top of his head, or actually around his head sometimes, depending upon the day, she is up there defending and sweeping for him. And I found this to be pretty strange. Anyway, this is what she said. "Tree, he did a hair transplant. He doesn't wear a wig," crying, laughing emoji face. And I basically quote tweeted her and I said this: "I don't expect you to know how hair works. I'll prove it to you. Watch this. If you transplant 4C hair on top of your head, will it grow out in 4A grade hair? Here's a chart to help you figure it out." And what I did is I showed her a variety of hair in different grades. So I showed like everything from 4C to 2A. Now, when we're talking about black people hair, for the most part, we're talking about 4A, 4B, and 4C. Myron has 4C hair, and I'm going to talk about this in more detail. And then you see 4A all around his head with waves. That's not how hair works. So she responds to that quote tweet and she says this: Okay, I do know how hair works, but you literally said that he glued maybe she meant hair. I think said that he glued hair to the top of his head, and he didn't. I'm just letting you know that he did a hair transplant that he openly spoke about too. Once again, I quote tweeted her and replied to her by saying this: "No, you don't know how hair works, and you proved it with your reply. Myron Gaines, aka Almaru Fidel, did not get a hair transplant. He has the top of his head shaved off and replaced with glued 4A hair. If he really had a hair transplant, which he didn't, then the hair on top of his head would not be a different grade from the rest of his hair. You cannot transplant 4C hair on top of your bald head and have it grow into 4A grade of hair." Laughing emoji face. That's not how hair works. However, you can glue in 4A grade weave on top of your head, and that's what he did. Drops mic. And what I show is a collage of a stylist. Actually, the stylist is in Florida, by the way, and he shaves the top of a man's head. He takes weave and he glues it on top, and then he takes the clippers and he shapes it up. Then he spray paint with hair paint, depending on the color of the hair, to basically hide the weave tracks, so it's not obvious that that's a glued on toupee or glued on weave. She responds to my quote tweet and says, "Tree, I know you like to make content and like to say what you want, but I was there when he got his transplant. He had the dots on his head like any other person that goes and gets their transplant on June the 17th, 2022. It was never glue. I promise you, if you go back on the YouTube from June the 17th on 2022 and look at his hair, then come talk to me. By the way, I did fact check her. She was wrong. We'll talk about that later in the video. And also, I want to show how Icy is just straight up lying. She was never there, because why would Myron invite her to do something so personal and not Angie, huh? I'm just saying. I know she lying, okay? Because they would have documented that. Anyway, knowing that she was not there, I said in response, no, you wasn't. You're a liar, and liars like you can't be trusted. You are paid by him, so your word isn't worth the S that come out your butt. You're not credible, so save your lies to those dumb bees who you asked to come on their show to be clowned. She responds, I'm nowhere near a liar. But if that's what you think, go ahead, tell the people the lies that you're feeding them just to make the content and money that you're monetizing off the hate that you're giving him at the end of the day. The only liar is you, because you swear you know these people, but you don't even know them. I tried to have a personal conversation with you so I could have a one-on-one so you could understand, but you didn't even want that. So now you're trying to cut back at me for no effing reason when I'm telling you the truth. You just want to be the people the lies be. It's okay. Put me on YouTube. Give me some clout. Do some real effing research. Bye-bye. And some simp who was in our conversation says this. She lied for Daisy, Icy. She has no credibility. And then Icy said, but she want to call me the liar. I'm fine, S. So effing funny on this app, man. I respond, you are a liar. Show me video footage of you being there during the process. Prove me wrong. I dare you. Spoiler alert, there is no footage because she wasn't there. So that's why she couldn't show me anything. Now she goes on a rant. I've been on the podcast since 2021. If you look at the timeline that's on the YouTube and Rumble, you'll see my BA. I don't have to sit up here and send you S. When it's all there, ask your assistant to do the research. I'm not on your team. I don't owe you S. But I will say the truth. Though that N-word and glue nothing to his hair. He literally did a hair transplant. LOL, you want to be right so bad, but generally you're the wrong one. You're just like other haters that monetize off his content. It's amazing for you even to try to call me a liar when I was there and you was, and I wasn't there. You wasn't there either. She's so icy on Fresh and Fit, kissing the Lord. By the way, she loved me. I want y'all to know. We may act like we hate each other, but yo, Icy love me. She want me. I just want y'all to know that she is digging on some tree. Anyway, she'll say, I'll pop up. Have a great day. I respond, so no video or pictures of you being at this fake A procedure that he never had? Yeah, that's what I thought with your lying A. You'll talk all that ass and provide zero evidence. Search up She's So Icy on Fresh and Fit on YouTube and do your research. Do you not know how dumb you sound? Why would I search something that doesn't exist? The burden of proof is on you, dummy. You said it exists, so you have to get it. But you won't because you know you're making S up with your triggered lying A. By the way, like I said, she was so triggered because she couldn't even find it. It was so funny. She could have shut me down easily, but she didn't because the whole thing never happened. And you know they would have documented. Anyway, it's literally there. You sound so effing dumb, like I don't understand how stupid you could be. If you can't put your assistant after I gave you the timeline, I don't have to send you S. I'm literally giving you the effing timeline, you dumb B. And I said, it's not there. And you proven it's not there by not showing it here. You want me to go search for something that isn't there? Girl, shut the F up with your lying A. If you had the evidence, you would shut me up now by showing it. But you are a lying AB word, so do keep lying. The evidence is literally on the timeline. My thing is you won't put your assistant to work. You would rather me send you S. Come on, B, get it together. Be a real con creator, not a lazy one. Now, on another reply, she says this. I don't understand why you have an assistant when you're talking about your A. And I'm like, is Icy drunk or high? What's going on with the Icy, okay? I said, what? Are you high? That sentence made no sense. No, I'm using voice to text because I'm driving right now. So I meant to say you're talking out your A. I said, stop lying. You're illiterate A, just can't type in proper English. Laughing emoji face. A couple hours later, she says, I just got to the crib, 1. And 2, aren't you the same B that sat up here and tried to lie for Daisy to finesse Fresh when she killed the baby before she even got online claiming she was pregnant from Fresh? Then she got mad at you and then decided to air her out because I'm the layer? My word has more credibility than you. And I respond, when I found out that she lied, I exposed her. Wasn't Myron and Fresh the one defending her when their fans called her out? I owned my L and came clean. They didn't come clean until she turned on them, but I admitted to being fooled. They refused to admit to being wrong. Also, it's liar, not layer, you illiterate A-B word. For you to do all this sweeping for Myron proves that I'm right, LOL. Thanks for the confirmation. I never seen you this pressed before. I've never seen you so worked up over something that I said about him in the past. More proof that I'm right on target. I want you to understand, Icy is arguing with me for hours about another man's hair. So this was all Myron's doing. Icy doesn't really care about it, but she gets paid by Myron. She is employed by Myron, so she has to make that money, honey. She works hard for it. No, there is no confirmation. I was bored leaving my job. Sure you was. And seeing a lie that was on my feed. You are extremely pathetic for even saying he's putting glue on his head for hair. Like, come on, sass. I think she meant to say sis. I know you're trying to make some money and some content trying to jump on Myron's wagon since him and Angie went viral. Like, you were reaching something so stupid I had to say something. Pressed never. Kiss it. Did she go kiss at me? Okay. Mwah! I send a kiss back at you, girl. I know you want me. I just talk very aggressively like I said. Do your research. It's 2:30 a.m. Eastern time and your triggered A is still here trying to convince me to believe your lies. Wow. No, babe, it's 10:40 me. I just finished cooking dinner for the family and saw your reply. You swear I'm the layer when you... You swear I'm the layer when you know you dead wrong. Diabolical. Go make your content, sis. I gave you enough S to talk on your YouTube. You need to speak on them to make your little money. I don't. Ha ha. Crying, laughing emoji face to the side. I actually have a life. Oh, you have no idea. Laughing emoji face. Allow me to thank you ahead of time. Winky face. Also, it's liar, not layer. Why is that word so hard for you? Babe, at this point, there's no explanation. I'm a dropout. I don't really care to type in English. I use text-to-speech. I know 2 languages. Hey, Icy. Ich kann Ausschweiß sprechen. Slampy. I don't type. I talk S more in IRL. I fight stupid people. Girl, you need to... Sigh, LOL. I F myself by misspelling. Oh, well. Have a good night. I'm going to sleep. It was a good back and forth. And then I say, are you sure you're going to drop it? I highly doubt that. I don't think your boss, Myron Gaines, aka Amaru Fidel, is going to like that. After all, he's the one who told you to do all this sweeping for him in the first place. Also, I thought we were bonding there for a few minutes. Laughing emoji face. And I'm not going to go into more about this. We were just going back and forth. It was pretty fun. You know how future lovers do. Anyway, that's the exchange between me and Icy. Now, in order for you to understand how Myron lied about getting a hair transplant and gluing weave to his scalp, we have to briefly discuss hair textures. If you know about the different types of hair textures, feel free to skip this part of the video by going to the time mark listed at the bottom of this video. Thanks to internationally renowned and award-winning hairstylist Andre Walker, we now know that there are 4 types of hair textures between all the races. Type 1, which is straight hair, Type 2, which is wavy hair, Type 3, curly hair, and Type 4, coily hair. Within those types are 3 categories, with the first being category A, which is the fine section. Next is category B, the medium section, which is a mixture of both A and C category. And lastly, category C, which is in the coarse section. So here are the examples of 2 groups for type 1 and type 2 hair along with their categories. And this is an example of the last groups for type 3 and 4 hair and their categories. Since there are so many other textures of hair, we're going to keep it relevant to the hair texture type Myron falls under, which is type 4. Let's break down each category within this type. First, we have 4A, which is soft, dense curls with a visible S pattern. The curl circumference is similar to a crochet needle. Next, we have 4B, which is Z-patterned, less defined curls, has more of a crimped look and densely packed, but curls are still identifiable. And lastly, 4C, which is cotton-like with no defined curl patterns, often described as tight, springy, and is even more prone to shrinkage than other curl types. So out of these 3 categories in type 4, which category does Myron's hair fall under? That's right, 4C. Prior to wearing weave, Myron's natural hair is 4C, but when his stylist glue on his fake hair, it is in a 4A texture. Now, some of you are probably asking me, but Tree, how do you know he lied about getting a hair transplant? Glad you asked. In order to prove this, let's briefly talk about the hair transplant process for men. Currently, there are 8 different hair transplant procedures available to men. Feel free to pause the video to read the description to each one. To save time, I'll just read the name of each procedure. Number 1, follicular unit transplantation, also known as FUT. Number 2, follicular unit extraction, also known as FUE. Number 3, direct hair implantation. Number 4, robotic hair transplantation. Number 5, scalp micropigmentation. Number 6, platelet-rich plasma therapy. Number 7, body hair transplant. And number 8, hair transplant for beard and eyebrows. So based upon Myron's own words, he received a follicular unit transplantation because this is the only hair transplant procedure that requires stitches. Okay guys, so let's bring it all home. Remember, Icy said that Myron got his so-called hair transplant on June the 17th, 2022. Now, that was on a Friday. So the last time they streamed was on the 15th. They weren't streaming on the 16th, and he went into surgery on the 17th. Now, why is this important? Because I asked ChatGPT, what is the recovery time for follicular unit transplantation, which is what he got, the procedure that he said that he got, because that is the only procedure that has stitches. And it specifically told me that it takes 1 to 2 weeks for the swelling, the scabbing, the redness, and for the stitches to heal up. Let's not forget that when men opt for the FUT procedure, which Myron pretended he got, there is a bald spot there. And this is known as the donor area. So this is where they take the hair follicles and place it into the front. And this is where they have the stitches as well. We're going to watch the video where Myron pretends to have stitches in addition to a donor spot. Please keep in mind that during the long-term recovery for a FUT procedure, it specifically states here, the donor scar from the FUT strip will continue to heal and may take several months to a year to fully mature. That means it would take several months to a year for this bald area where they took the hair follicles from the back to place it to the front to fully fill in. So 5 days after getting his so-called hair transplant surgery, Myron comes back to Fresh and Fit and streams with Walter on June the 22nd, and Grandma Tamasha is in the back looking on. There's no swelling, there's no stitches, and there is no donor graft, meaning that there isn't a bald spot where they took donation hair from that back to the front. So this is going to really make you laugh when you watch how he tries to play a Jedi mind trick on us. Now, his fans are stupid enough to believe it, okay? But if you really take the time to see what he's doing, you'll realize why they're dumb enough to follow these clowns. Let's watch.
After getting his hair did. All right, just so you guys know real quick. Here we go. I did a natural hair transplant. What that basically does is, and we got the doc hair too, as well, if you guys got some questions. It means he didn't necessarily do my hair. I went to another doctor here, guys, in Fort Lauderdale. But long story short, they make a cut in the back of your head, take hair follicles from the back of your head, implant them in the areas where you're thin. So for me, as y'all know, I was losing in the front and then in the crown. So I put the doc put the hairs there. It's gonna grow. It's in the process of growing now.
There's no swelling. There's no swelling. There's no redness. All he did was color this in with pencil. That's all he did. That's not what, this is a thing. He knew he was going to get the weave glued onto his head. There is no transplant here. And if you talk to any surgeon who does this procedure, they will basically tell you, where's the swelling? You will not see a bald spot where they took follicles from the back of his head, and you will not see any stitches.
A lot of local anesthesia, gave me 1 million needles in my head so that it would numb it up, made the cut, all this other stuff. I took pictures of everything. I'm going to document it for you guys. It is.
No, he didn't. And he never uploaded this so-called documentation of the process. So that's strange too, because when you go through something like this, when you want to make that content, during this time, they were fully monetized on YouTube. So that would make them a lot of money. But isn't it strange that Myron never uploaded the footage of him getting this so-called transplant? Isn't it strange that Myron never showed you the whole process of being prepped and going into surgery, of him actually talking to his doctor? None of that was documented. None of that is available because it never happened. But here's the good part. He's going to quickly show you the back of his head, and he's going to play the Jedi mind trick to sit up here and gaslight you to pretend that there's stitches and there's a bald spot in the back of his head.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's tough. And it was tough the first couple days. I mean, even now for me to sleep now, because like the back of my head is like all stitches. I mean, y'all could see it like.
He turns around and immediately covers his head. But don't worry, chat. On this same stream, he reveals his entire head by accident. So don't worry, I'm going to show this to you. But it's amazing that he's going to turn around and cover the back of his head like, oh yeah, right here where the stitches are. Okay, let's see if we can slow this down. Okay.
God.
What? Oh shoot! It was so fast. Hold on, let me see if I can fast forward it. Hold on.
I mean,
okay, well, I gotta be really fast. Here we go. Okay, did you see that? Hold on a second.
Like, here.
Where is the stitches? Where's the stitches? Where's the bald spot? Where is the area that they took the donation from, right? You're supposed to have a big little bald spot back there, Myron, and there isn't any. And the thing about it is his stupid audience fell for this. Look at this. Now that he removed his head, where's the stitches? Where's the donation spot? Where is all of this? You just lied and your stupid audience bit this hook, line, and sinker. And it's just amazing that you pulled this off and I'm the only one calling you out. I'm the first one to really call you out. There isn't any stitches, ladies and gentlemen. There isn't any bald spot. Where did he get the donation area to put into the front? I'm telling you, it's all done by pencil.
Like, I still haven't gotten the stitches out. So
there is no stitches. There was no stitches. And there was no bald spot for the donor area.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know.
And you got the little crusty one back there doing all the side effects. Okay. What are you in for, Walter? There's no stitches back there. You guys are playing. You guys are good at gaslighting your stupid audience.
Sucks. But it is what it is, man. You gotta make it happen, and you just gotta make it.
I'm gonna keep this playing because I've had people from his audience say that his doctor that did the hair transplant was there on the day of the show. But Myron just said that this doctor isn't the one who did his hair transplant. Watch this.
Hey, man. That's what it is, bro.
But yeah, no, so that's how it goes, guys. It's going to take me I'm going to get the stitches out in a couple, on the 30th. And and I'm going to document it for y'all. After, it's going to take about 4 months to 6 months for it to, actually fully grow in and everything else like that. And then a year for a full recovery. Doc, will I have that accurate to a degree? I know you don't do hair transplants, but.
Yeah, I don't do hair transplants, but it's pretty accurate.
That's fairly.
Okay. The doctor doesn't do any hair transplant. So you invited a doctor to talk about your hair transplant, and you don't even do any hair transplant. What is the purpose of this? He literally said he doesn't do any hair transplant. Let's rewind that for a second.
Have that accurate to a degree? I know you don't do hair transplants, but.
Yeah, I don't do hair transplants, but it's pretty accurate.
That's fairly, yeah. Fine, yeah. That's what basically happened, guys. That's like the easy version of putting it, but it's.
But listen, on this same show, Myron mistakenly showed his entire head. And we're going to watch that moment right here where he just started acting crazy, jumping out, I guess, and he falls off the chair. But when he gets back on, you get to see everything. And I'm telling you, there isn't a bald spot and there aren't any stitches. Let's watch.
Let's go.
Where's the stitches, Myron? Where's the stitch? Look, do you see any stitches? I don't see any stitches. I don't see a bald spot where they took the follicles off and transferred them from the back of your head to the front of your head. Huh, let's continue to watch.
Oh, my God.
Oh, look. No swelling also.
I'm acting.
He's going to show the back of his head again.
I'm acting for better effect. Yeah, just that surgery though, man.
Look. Where's the stitches? Where's the stitches? Where is the bald spot besides this natural one right here? Okay? God, I'm good.
Look,
where's the stitches? Where's the stitches? You guys are clowns for believing this man got a hair transplant. There are no stitches. There's not a bald spot. Okay? There's nothing back there.
Man,
and that clown didn't even realize he was setting himself up.
Before you know, he's a kid.
Look at there. Look. Here you can see from the view right here. There's no stitches. Also, there isn't a donor graft there. He's supposed to have a section there that's bald, where they took the follicles from that part of his head. But there's nothing there. It's just regular hair.
Bro, I think he needs another week off.
No, I don't need a week off.
So there's that. I can't believe it's 2024 and I'm the first one to call this out. I wanted to get a professional to chime in on this subject, so I was referred to Zachary, who's a certified licensed cosmetologist of 17 years. And this is what he had to say.
I quickly went to YouTube to like research his name because I wasn't too familiar with him. And there was actually it was like a clip and he was talking to like another guy and he like turned the back of his head
Yes, you
and
saw
he
it!
like pointed to where it was. And I'm like, bruh, there is absolutely no scar.
There's
and
no
even
scar
if,
there.
like,
Thank you.
Like there is absolutely no scar. And like even if there was a scar, like his hair was in that specific video was cut so short that it wouldn't even at that point it still wouldn't even be like you would still have the incision.
Yes. Also, that hair would not grow, from my understanding. I got to do more research on it. But where they take the graft, the hair would not grow back that fast, if at all.
Right, because they've literally taken the follicles out, and if they brought the skin together, it would be done with stitches, and you would still have somewhat of a scar incision line from where they took that section of hair.
Right.
Because I've had quite a few male clients, older, and they were like white, but I mean, besides texture, everything is relatively the same.
Right.
And I mean, these were from like years ago, and I understand that science and technology and everything gets better and better, but you're not gonna not have a scar.
Right. Right. And there's no scar.
And and if it's something like you're making a topic of like conversation in like your podcasts and your streams and your lives, I grasp the concept of influencers and people. Like, wouldn't it be something that you would document or like show the process? You are
still in my script. You're still in my script because that's exactly what I'm gonna put in the video, that somebody like this would document the process, because his assistant said that she was there, and I'm gonna show the argument between me and her through Twitter, where I said, "Oh, you were there, really? Show me a video of you being there with him." Because here's my thing: why would his assistant be there? The person he's paying money to basically get host this or to get guests on his show, and not his beard, aka his fake girlfriend. So I was like, why wouldn't Angie be there during the process, but you would be there? You and him ain't close like that. Also, where's the video footage? He's a YouTuber. Wouldn't this be good content of the process? Because I go on TikTok, I go on YouTube, I go on Instagram, and every man that went through the process documented. There's no documentation of Myron doing this at all because he never got it done.
And like even above in that, like the documentation and content and stuff, like somebody who is coming up as an influencer, these also fall into like, you know, brand deals and like discount, like, you know, like
good point.
These, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna make this lucrative for you because that's just the nature of the beast.
Right.
You know?
Right. Also, being that he's supposed to be for the men, there are men who are suffering from premature balding, or that are already going bald, or that are having problems slowly losing their hair. This could also be a way of empowering them by basically maybe trying it out. But like,
exactly,
he doesn't want people to know that he has weave glued on his head, because that will stop the narrative with him attacking black women.
So going with the whole like projecting this alpha male like energy, saying that he got a hair transplant versus wearing a wig would be the more masculine, or because like, you know, with the hair transplant you're going through like pain,
swelling,
and, like, all
bleeding,
swelling, like all that kind of stuff. So like you would rather have a hair transplant than be wearing a wig. So saying that, you know, I got a hair transplant, that is going to be more alpha and that's going to be more masculine than putting on like a sissy little wig.
Excellent point. Okay, Zachary, thank you so much for giving me your expertise and your input in reference to your experience on this. I thank you so much for this, and I wish you luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Myron Gaines, aka Amaru Fidel, is a weave warrior. He also wears weave. So he can't talk about black women putting on weaves when he does the same thing. Also, I have to ask him, because I know he's going to be watching this video, Myron, why is it that you get the weave put all over your head, but for some reason your stylist can't put a weave on the back of that bald spot that you have in your crown? And I don't even understand this. It's like sometimes it's there and sometimes it isn't. Like right here, it's a little hit and miss. You got a little paint right there, hair paint there, but here you have that little bald spot, and then you got the bald spot here, which is totally different than the bald spot here, but you know, baby steps, I guess. But like I said, this is weaved that is glued onto his head. It is a procedure that has been around for several years. I will leave a link to a stylist who does this professionally, and he's really good at it. And he's also based in Florida. Imagine that. So anyway, feel free to share this video and give me a like. And if you're new to my channel, especially if you're a woman, feel free to subscribe. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time when we clown Myron for being a hair hat hooligan.